Good morning and welcome to the Manuchehri Show. We're live here in Bellevue, outside of Seattle, looking at the beautiful. Well, we can see part of the hills a little bit. It's a little overcast, but it is gorgeous. It's really stunning out there. And I remember to bring you some flowers
You
this
did.
morning.
Thank you
Yes,
so much.
brought you
I'm
some.
in Peony Central.
Yeah, brought you a little,
Look for
bouquet of
everyone on the
peonies.
camera.
Yes,
Look,
some
yay.
pink
They're in front of my face.
and some ants too.
Yeah, we won't tell the bosses about
Yeah.
that one.
Few little ants on the
That's okay.
flowers. Yeah.
They're just friendly. They're just hanging out.
Actually, they actually open up the
They
flowers. That's
help
what
open, yeah.
people have told me for years, and I didn't really believe them. But this year, when I went out and the peonies are doing so well in the yard this year, I'm like, oh, there are ants all over them, opening up those folds.
Magical
Yeah.
little buddies. So thank you for bringing those.
Of course,
Yeah, we
yes.
were talking about it last week. So
Yeah.
it makes the room smell so much better. And
It
look
does smell good.
and look so much better.
And today's an eclipse. Today is the eclipse, and the solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. So if it woke you up this morning, like it did me, it was hard for me to. Some people had a hard time falling asleep. Some people had a hard time staying asleep. I was in the second category.
Yeah, it was a little toss and turn for me, but
What, really?
we'll find out tomorrow. So maybe another day.
Yeah. But this eclipse is actually very powerful. So it's creating a lot of potential change for individuals.
We've had a lot of that happening already this year.
We have. This is true. I agree.
The super moon, the blood super moon,
Yeah,
all the other
but
moons.
this is even more powerful than the blood supermoon. It has something to do with the degrees. I don't really totally understand it, but it's actually pretty significant. Yeah.
We need to bring back our special lady then.
Oh, you mean Stormy Grace?
Yes.
Okay, we'll work on that for sure.
Jen's on it. I could see her grabbing the phone already. And you guys should do the same. 877-825-8828 for the Marie Manuchehri Show. That's right now. We are opening up the phone lines, taking your call for the next hour. Calls, I should say. And should we start things off?
Sure.
All right.
Go for it.
We'll take Nancy calling in from Wisconsin. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We're great. Thank you.
Good.
What can I do for you?
Well, I had a reading with you recently.
Oh, and how was it?
It was wonderful.
Great.
And I'm trying to follow your advice. It's really helpful. I know it's hard, but it's very helpful for me. I keep trying to remind myself, okay, no, it's okay. You can do this.
You mean like not thinking or analyzing or staying present?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going through, I went back to court with my ex.
Oh.
So it's a very kind of standing up for myself thing, which is huge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I also started my own home, Reiki, intuitive business and stuff. So there's been a lot of changes around here.
Good.
But I wanted to ask, I always try to keep to one because there's a million questions always.
Right.
I'm interested in possibly doing my Reiki master with you.
Mm-hmm.
I really I would be so excited.
I would be so excited if we could teach that class too. But I teach it in person in a hotel, with 40 students. And I don't think they're going to let us do that yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess I have someone locally that is interested, and I'm sure she's just fine. But I was just more curious, is there a time frame? Do we have a guess? And, about
I don't have
how
a
long
guess
before you.
I don't know when things will be opened up. And our state's actually slower than other states. We're still at 50%. So I don't know. I mean, but as soon as I would probably next year, let's just say to be safe next year, I'm going to be posting our Greece retreat for next year in June, because I think things will be in a good place for travel. So next year, and if you decide to take Reiki from someone else, the only thing that I ask that you look at is make sure they're not teaching anything about a lot of fear. I've just met some people who teach about energy work. Sometimes they talk about fear, don't do it this way, this could happen. And none of that's true. Energy work is very profound and very transformative, but it doesn't do anything derogatory or negative, right? It's a very loving energy. So that's the only thing I would look out for if you're looking for a teacher, is make sure that the teacher is positive and inspirational. Yeah, that's what I would look for. But next year is probably the soonest we'll be able to teach at that volume in person. And it's not a class
Okay.
I feel comfortable teaching online. You know,
Right.
Yeah. No, because
Yeah,
people have asked me. I know you didn't ask me, but lots of other people have asked me. And I'm like, And I'm sure there's some people who do teach it online, and I'm sure it's perfectly great, but I just prefer to teach it in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what I want you to do is just feel and see yourself. This is really important, as a powerful, intuitive healer. Just see yourself as that, not how you got there, not what you need to do to make it happen, but just be there as often as you can, as many times of the day as you possibly can. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yes,
that
thank
things can
you.
just move along in a clip and you can have the things that you want.
Okay. That sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Thank
I look forward to
you.
hopefully seeing you next year.
Yeah, thanks, Nancy, for joining us from Wisconsin. 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. And we'll travel a little further east to Lisa in Virginia.
Oh,
Hi, Lisa. Stereo.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What can I do for you?
I just had some little things that have like cropped up like just
Okay.
the past maybe 2 months,
Uh-huh.
and I just was wondering if you had any insight about them. One of them is my foot, and one of them is my mouth. The thing on my foot, I think it's a varicose vein that
Okay.
just kind of comes and goes, but it's been staying like later, like more time, irritating me than I guess it did when I first had it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a varicose vein, and that's
Well, you're a critical care nurse. I know who you are. So I'm sure you know exactly what it is. So you're very intelligent. How about some bioflavonoids, which is kind of an elevated aspect of vitamin C that's really good for vascular structure and veins?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about your face? What was it on your face?
Oh, is there anything that's underlying, like that I'm doing wrong emotionally that like would cause that?
I wrote out your energy, and the chakra that governs the lower extremities is your root, and you're taking beautiful energy into the first vortex. So
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just a physical.
I think so. Yeah. I would take some bioflavonoids. I think those would
Okay.
be great.
Do you think it'll get better?
I do.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
So, and like something like called rutin, do you think that would
I don't
help?
know what that is.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think it's like a type of bioflavonoid.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Okay. And then just something weird with my mouth.
Okay.
It was kind of precipitated by like I kept feeling like kind of warmth on and off. I still feel that, not as much. And then all of a sudden my tongue, I had like an insatiable thirst. And then the tongue started burning. Anyway, I did some research, and I think it's called burning tongue syndrome.
Interesting.
And it's a lot better.
Oh, good.
But I was just wondering. And I did tell my doctor about that too, and he said actually to just take some B vitamins, and I think they actually are working.
Great. Okay, so
yeah. I was just wondering if you had any. It was such a bizarre thing.
Well, the underlying, energetically for the mouth is speaking one's truth. And I think just being as positive as we can be with our words that are escaping our mouth. I love to ask myself often, does that thought make me happy? Does that thought make me happy? And I catch myself all the time, either very happy with a thought that I'm thinking or surprisingly not very happy with the thought. Because I think we just allow indiscriminate thoughts to just float in our brain. And I don't think that's a good idea. So that could be a great practice for you.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, but is that another is there something? Is that probably what the root cause of it?
I think so. The fact that you're resolving things with supplements means that you're doing really well, but your body just needs some new supplement routine, which is great. That's fantastic. That means you have a good, healthy body. You give it nutrients, and it gets better. Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Okay, but you feel like the foot thing's not going to really annoy me the rest of my life?
Well, if you can stop thinking about it in an annoying way, that's going to help it even faster, honestly.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. But no, you've got lovely energy moving into your root chakra and your throat. So I'm not worried about either areas of your body.
Okay. Does everything else look okay with that?
Yes. You got 7th vortex, 6th, and 4th. Beautiful energy moving in.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa, for joining us from the Virginia area. 877-825-8828. We'll now travel back westward, and we have Gina joining us from Fresno, California. Hi, Gina.
Hi. How you guys doing?
We're good.
We're very good. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm calling in about my mother.
Okay. I love how people are like having these surrogate
Right?
calls for their loved ones. It's kind of a new thing, like
Yeah.
it's happening more and more, but we didn't used to get that. Okay. So you're calling for your mom. All right.
Yeah. I just lost her on May 9th.
Oh, okay. Now we do get these types of calls all the time. I'm so sorry. So
Thank
really
you.
you're calling for you, but it's about talking to your mom, right?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm very, very sorry. I'm starting to hook up with your mother already, which is very kind of her because she hasn't been gone very long, right? Sometimes it takes a little while for people when they leave their bodies to be
Right.
available for mediums. I mean, I haven't had an issue maybe once in my entire career, maybe, luckily. And this won't be an issue either. Your mother was a very loving person. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Extremely loving, just loved being a mom, just a very loving human being. And she wants me to tell you that she appreciates everything you did for her during her time of need, and that the love that she has for you is exactly the same, maybe more pronounced than it was when she was in physical form. And she's going to be one of your special angels. So,
Aww.
and not very many people do this. I know a lot of people think, oh, I'm sure my grandma's following me around. I'm like, no. I mean, most people do not spend a lot of time helping out their human fellow friends or family member. They just don't. Maybe because they look at us and they see we have guides around us and we have access to our higher self and all kinds of wonderful things. Even if we don't consciously partake in them, they exist. But your mother is going to act like an angel for you in your life, which is a really nice thing for her to do. Very selfless. I mean, I'm hoping I'm having this mental telepathic conference with her at the same time that I'm translating. I'm like, are you sure you want to do that? And will you make sure you take time for yourself? Because that's something that I think she needed to learn overall anyway. And she goes, no, I will. She goes, I have a plan. The angels came and talked to me. I have a plan, and I'm like, okay. But I think you're really lucky. I've seen this a few times recently, and people who have loved ones who've crossed and who then turn around and want to really be effective for a friend or a family member is very lucky. So don't be surprised if things that you've been wanting for a long time start appearing in your life, because your mom is, she's got her hand in it now and she loves you. So, so she's only going to bring good and wonderful things to you, of course.
That's awesome. When before she passed, she told me she had like 75 angels. That's what she told me.
And that's because that's what she saw. So when people are dying, right, when they're leaving their bodies, they start to see the multisensory world. That's amazing. And a lot of angels come to help people leave their bodies, but these could be angels that your mother had all along and maybe didn't know, or, I mean, who knows for sure what the circumstances were. But that's really lovely that she was able to explain that to you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Okay. So you've got an extra, almost like an extra spirit guide, but I'm going to call her an angel instead, who will be watching over you happily, joyfully, and lovingly.
Wow.
I know.
She went peacefully, right?
She did.
I felt
the best that I can see. I don't see a lot of drama and trauma around her death.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, death is death. Like, just like giving birth, it's another birth into another world, just in a different way. But yes, I think she had a good transition in passing. I think she enjoyed it even, to the best that someone can when they're leaving a world permanently, in a way. Like, of course, it's not permanent because you can come back if you want to, but it's not going to be the same world. It's not going to be the same people. It's going to be a very different experience. So I think she had a very good crossing, and it's super simple. I mean, your mom crossed so quickly. That's why I can talk to her because she didn't have a lot of time in transition in between our world and the other side.
I totally felt that, because on our way to the funeral, I seen a couple of kind of hawks kind of fly over all the way to the graveside. I kept crossing, and I felt an energy. I felt like she had crossed over already.
Yeah, you're right. She did. She crossed immediately. And I think when people are just so kind, because the other side has that same type of frequency. It feels so familiar. You just gravitate towards it, right? It's not a hard transition.
Yeah.
Typically. Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm very sorry for your loss, but I'm so happy that you had and have such a loving person as your mom. I mean, it's like
Marie.
the greatest gift to have. You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to let her know that I'm going to handle everything here on this side for, like with my siblings and whatnot.
Of course. I mean, you have great integrity. You're going to do everything fair. Not a problem. She didn't even ask that question, which, by the way, very few people ask who have passed about property or jewelry or monies.
Right.
The only time I see problems, and unfortunately I've seen this too many times, is when people, when they leave, which would not be your mother, who had grudges and didn't fairly divide resources or left out a child out of their will, which I have seen more times than I care to even respond to. And when the person crosses over, they're embarrassed and uncomfortable with the experience. But they weren't before they died. But on the other side, they're like, they can't even talk about it. They're that embarrassed. It's like, oh my gosh. But yeah, your she didn't even ask that question. She has no concerns about that whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to let her know,
she knows. She chose well. She knows. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm very sorry for your loss. And we wish you a beautiful day in California.
Thank you, Marie.
You're welcome.
Have a great day. Bye, Jenny.
Yeah, see you later. Thanks for joining the show. 877-825-8828 is the number. You should get in now. Some lines are open, and we are at our first break of the hour.
Already?
It happens.
All right.
Be right back with more from Marie.
And welcome back to the Manuchehri Show. We're live here in almost sunny Seattle, and we're taking calls.
Should I hold up my flowers higher so
You want to see them?
so we can see the sun? No, so the sun can come through. Oh, I'd be more than happy to.
No.
I've also had a couple little critters running around on the.
I know. I'm so sorry. There's so many little.
I have my
ants.
own little ant farm. Shh, don't tell the boss.
I won't.
That's funny. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show, and we'll take Marguerite from San Diego. Hi, Marguerite.
Hello. How are you?
We are lovely. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good. What can I do for you?
Yes, I've been blessed to help a few of my family members transition to heaven from their home.
Oh.
And now my mother now is in heaven.
Oh.
But her brother was just diagnosed with a mass on his liver, and he's blessed to be at home with his 2 daughters and wife. And I'm wondering if this is a time that he's going to start his transition, or if he's just going to be ill for a while. And so I was wondering if my mother has a message about it.
You know, was your mom feisty?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, full of life.
And feisty, right? I mean,
yes.
Right. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm on the right person, because I don't hear people's names. I get their personalities. I can see what they look like, things of that nature. But I have a feisty woman with me. You know what she says? And I don't think she means any disrespect when she says this to you, but she says, I want you to enjoy your life. Stop worrying about all of us. Stop taking care of all of us. Go have some fun. That's what she says to you.
Yes. That was my role my whole life, taking care of brothers and sisters and family, and I did hospice work for over 20 years.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And can you
grandmother. But I understand that, and I've made the choice, and I think because my mother on her transition week, she made me promise her that she was my last person.
So it's the same message basically that she gave you.
I have kept that promise.
Good.
And I did want to go to be with my cousins and my sweet uncle, her brother, but my soul said, no, they can handle this.
They can.
So I haven't.
I don't think he's going to go soon. And again, that may not be accurate because souls make their own decisions, but I feel like he's kind of stubborn. And stubborn people take a while to leave their bodies. So it's not usually a quick scenario. And I think he's really enjoying resting and having everybody run around him and take care of him. I think he's liking it.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. But what about you? What about you having fun, enjoying your life?
I know I'm learning this. I know I can't even believe it. But at 66, I'm finally learning that I need to really put myself first.
Yes.
And I am actually doing it.
Good.
And yes. But
good.
And one other quick question, since my mother's soul is here. Me and my mother gave a friend of mine some money when she was in need, and she was, of course, going to give it back to us. But my mother went to heaven before she could give it back. And she has called me and said that she is going to be able to give me the money back that I gave her and my mother gave her very soon. And does my mother want me to give her money to all her grandchildren or just
I think it's
children?
for you. I think it's for you.
What?
That's what I think.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you get to do whatever you think is right or fair or whatnot, but I think it's for you. That's what I hear from your mom. You've devoted a lot of your life to your family, and I think it's for you.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you get to do whatever you think is right. Well, that's what I'm
Okay.
hearing from your mom. Yeah, I'm hearing that from your mother, that it's for you.
Well, that's I don't know if I can do that because I really want to give to others too.
I know, but remember what we were talking about. You need to take care of yourself first. You need to go play and have fun, do some lovely things. You already know how to give. That's not a problem for you. You do not know how to receive. That is a problem for you. You need to work on the thing that you don't know how to do, not the things you know how to do.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sweetheart. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
very
And you
much.
can do whatever you want, of course, but that's my recommendation. Okay.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Marguerite, from calling in from San Diego, 877-825-8828. She's got it.
Yes.
She's got that locked up.
I don't know, Benny.
What? Really? You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't think I think it's a seriously challenging part of life for her is to be receptive.
Oh, okay.
So, I maybe she'll hold on it for a little while, but it
okay.
could be a little challenging for her.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think, but we'll find out maybe.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. 877-825-8828 for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll travel to Eugene, Oregon. Now we have Michelle joining us. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. What can we do for you?
Great. Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
So I am 59, and I was diagnosed with osteoporosis back in January. And I've got a care team of people around me, and I made a whole bunch of changes around, diet and weightlifting and things like that.
Good.
Yeah. And I basically have two questions. One is around, whether I should take a drug or not. And so kind of just curious about root cause. The nutritionist that I'm working with thinks it's totally reasonable for me to wait like a whole year doing the diet and supplements and exercise and the yoga things that I'm doing. And my endocrinologist, on the other hand, says that I need to be on medication because it's severe osteoporosis.
And what does he mean by severe when you did the bone scan? What's the percentage?
Like the numbers. Yeah. Like a -4.7.
I guess I'm going to say that's probably close to 50%, but I don't really know that particular number, how they're breaking it down, how they're, how they're basing that number in relationship to the percentage of loss. But I agree with your nutritionist because, and those drugs actually can work, but I think it's really good for you to do other things. There are some excellent supplements that are on the market now that you can buy over the counter, that one of them has actually been approved for osteoporosis. It actually has had clinical trials that actually work. Crazy. So if you write into the website, energyintuitive.com, we'll send you a link to those supplements. So I would take supplements, but this is a root chakra issue. So the first chakra governs all the bones in the body. Anything to do with bones has a lot to do with stubbornness. Do you think you're a stubborn person?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So interesting enough, when you're stubborn and you're young, by the way, you are young. In my opinion,
I know it's concerning. Yeah, and there's no history of this in my family. That's why I went to an endocrinologist. My primary care physician was like, I don't know why you have this. So that's because modern medicine doesn't study energy, unfortunately.
Right. Because it doesn't have to be genetic, at all. Nothing has to be genetic, and nothing has to be genetic in terms of everybody has to get the same disease because it's genetic, right? In a family, that doesn't have to exist. So you need to learn to let go, not only to help your bones maintain all the minerals that they have right now and to keep their beautiful, density, but also so that you can allow supplements or food, or if you decide to take modern medicine down the path, that it goes into your body. Because when you're stubborn, it's hard to receive nutrients. It's really difficult because there's almost like a wall that's not allowing the minerals to move into the bone or any part of the body that needs nutrients, which is the entire body. So I would recommend that you start saying to yourself, what if I get out of the way? And I don't want you to analyze what that means or try to figure it out. I just want you to start repeating silently or out loud, like every hour for several minutes, what if I get out of the way? Or what if I surrender? Or what if I let go? But what if I get out of the way? Because your brain doesn't really understand that sentence, which is good. It's not going to try to make up some story about it, so that we can get your body to be more relaxed, more flexible, and more absorbent. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I think. So I agree with your nutritionist. I love that we have modern medicine that could work, but modern medicine has its own side effects. So if we can take supplements and nutrients, if we're healthy enough, which you are, otherwise you're healthy. When I look at your energy, you're healthy. Then we can start, we can let that heal us. But of course, you'll always have the modern medicine if other things don't work, which is great. Right?
Okay. No, it is great. And so so it's a root chakra issue.
Right. So which means it's about your childhood.
Okay.
Right. So it's some childhood issues, probably just not feeling loved or seen, which made you strong and stubborn. Right. For good reasons. Like those are good defense mechanisms that kids sometimes need to have to flourish in their family life. But that life is no longer present. So you don't need to have those stances. You don't need to be so strong, so fiercely independent or stubborn, right? Because those are actually words of resistance, all of those. And we don't want your body to resist anymore. We want it to absorb.
Okay.
Okay.
So just by repeating that, what if I get out of the way every hour for a few minutes?
Yeah.
That will kind of move me toward kind of resolving my root chakra issues.
It will help a lot.
Okay.
And you only have to do it for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Or if you really like it, just keep doing it. If it makes you happy, that's a good sign. It will help you to move into a place where you'll start to surrender. And then things can start to move up to the surface. Right? Right. Does that make sense what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. because I'm in the way.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And don't worry.
I wasn't ready, so.
Don't worry.
Okay, I know I do worry.
Please don't worry. That's not healthy at all. Okay.
Okay.
Have a lovely,
Marie.
You're welcome. Have a lovely day.
Thanks, Michelle, for joining us. Yeah, don't be a worrywart. That's what my mom always told me.
Is that what she said?
She still continues to do that. Because I'm a dad now, right? Parent.
Right.
So, of course, she's like, don't worry. We've had 3 of you. It's all good.
Everybody's fine.
Everyone's great. Yeah. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll take now Jackie calling in from the Seattle area. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you?
We are lovely. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. And
Jackie.
I'm so excited you're going back to Greece.
I know. Thank you for being there a couple years ago or whenever it was that we went.
I can't wait to go back.
Oh, good.
And I don't know if you know, but our group, we're keeping in touch, all of us.
Oh, you're kidding. That is beautiful.
No, we hold regular meetings.
Oh.
We're just so excited to go back and see each other again.
Oh, that's amazing. That's fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that. That's beautiful. How lovely.
It's a trip of a lifetime.
Isn't it a nice place to be? I mean, it's just gorgeous there.
Beautiful.
Stunning. Yeah. So what can I do for you?
Well, my question is, I'm writing a book.
Right.
Which is something I've wanted to do my whole life. And I'm having a hard time getting organized.
Okay.
And I wonder if I need a personal coach or some tool. I know you've written a book to help me concentrate and get focused and get organized.
Right.
Like I have 15 journals that it's a memoir. And it's almost like I'm overwhelmed with just getting the chapters aligned and everything. And I have a book proposal due in a few weeks.
Okay.
So, yeah, I need to, figure this out.
Yeah, I
just wondered if you have any suggestions.
I think it's a really good idea to get a coach, like a writing coach that can help you to be organized, who also has good editing skills. Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
But I think we've had this conversation before.
Have we?
Yeah. But it's been a while. It's been a while since we've had the conversation.
Nothing wrrong with a refresher.
That's true. Yeah, nothing wrong whatsoever. So I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm also a little struggling with the overall theme.
The overall theme, of the book.
Right now it's on health issues and probably family issues. which brings up some resistance, especially from my family.
Well, here's what I think. And we've also had this conversation before as well. At least I believe I know we have. I think you should not write it from a memoir. I think you should write a self-help book.
Oh, really?
And you can put little snippets of your story in there, but I think it just lowers your vibration when you write your life story, as it does for a lot of people, by the way. It's not an unusual thing. I think you should write a self-help book. You love self-help books. They make you happy. You've read a million of them. I'm sure. I remember,
That's
you
true.
always want to choose what brings you joy. You always want to choose that. Always. And writing's about the rewrite. Always. Especially when you're writing a book. It's about rewriting it over and over and over again. One word can change an entire meaning of a paragraph, actually. So I think you should write a self-help book. That's what I think. And it can be on health if you want it to be. That's fine. But that's what I think.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Because remember, follow your joy. That's where your magnificence dwells. That's where your life path exists, is in the joy.
Yeah, it's distracting to worry about my family.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think too many people want to write about their family, quite frankly. Like, I wouldn't mind writing about my children and raising kids, because I was a super fun. I feel like I'm still doing it in a way. Fun part of my life. So that's going to have a lot of energy and momentum. When you're doing things that lower your vibration, you lower the momentum. It's very hard to get excited about it and energized about it, or put, effort towards it. It's really hard when your momentum drops. And that's always a sign, like, ooh, I need to be doing something else. Okay. Hello?
Okay, I missed that last part, but yes.
Yeah, just that you want to follow the happy feelings, because that's your path talking to
Right.
you. Yeah.
So a teaching memoir rather than a life memoir.
Yeah, a self-help book. With not so much of your life story. Pieces, snippets.
Pieces. Okay.
Yeah. Snippets.
Actually, that makes me feel better already.
Of
Yeah,
course.
see more of a guide.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great way to say it, Benny.
Okay.
Great.
You got it, Jackie?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you, Marie.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Jackie, for joining us from the Seattle area. 877-825-8828. Lines are open still, and we got a couple coming in. But first, we got to take our last break of the hour. We do.
Okay.
It's what happens. The Marie Manuchehri Show coming up next after the break.
So yesterday I was with my oldest, who has 2 kids, and we were in Seattle. She was doing some errands, and she took the oldest, her 3-year-old, into the errand place, and I was watching the baby. And she gave me, she said, "Mom, just drive around if she starts to wake up." So I'm driving around because she's waking up, and she starts to cry. She's really loud. The second baby has to be louder.
Oh yeah.
Right. Especially when you have a
competition. It's like a competition now.
Like your sister's 3 and she's really loud.
Yeah.
Camilla's a very loud kid. And so Alessandra is screaming at the top of her lungs. Right. So I finally find a place to park because it's Seattle and I'm not a great parallel parker. Right. But I found a place that, wasn't next to a bunch of garbage cans or, things that I didn't want to park next to. And get her out of the car. As soon as I picked her up, she just stopped crying immediately.
Interesting.
So I'm just holding her and cuddling her, but I'm like not by where my daughter is anymore.
Right.
So I text my daughter, I go, "Honey, I'm right by it was called the something beach sushi restaurant."
Hey.
Like that. So it was a very fun afternoon though, holding grandbabies. And
Aww.
yeah, it was it reminded me of how much work moms and dads have when they have little kids. It just never ends. It's just a constant. Yeah, it keeps you in shape. It's great.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Just like gotta love this show. 877-825-8828. Just a quick reminder too, the numbers are working for everyone.
Yeah.
We just need to let everybody know the lines have been full because you guys just get in so quickly.
So when it's busy, you just have to hang up and redial
you
again.
You just gotta keep trying.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's just how we work things.
Yeah.
So our neighbors to the north, that'd be Marissa. She wrote me online.
Did she really?
So keep trying, girl. Just keep trying. We love you. It's not like we're doing anything against it.
Yeah.
All right. So 877-825-8828. We'll now take where to go? Sorry, Marie. I lost my screen. It's awkward. Really awkward. No, I didn't. It's here. I just forgot. It's Cindy from Eugene, Oregon. Hi, Cindy. I didn't forget about you.
Hi, Benny.
Hi. Hello. What can we do for you?
I'm calling about my youngest son, who is 27.
Okay.
We need some guidance.
Are you sure? Do you think mom needs to let go like a little bit, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Working on that.
Well, I don't know. You're calling the show on behalf of your 27. No, I'm happy to answer your question, but I can just feel you are a very good mother. You have taken wonderful care of your family and you don't know how to let go yet. Right?
Well, he's having a psychotic break and living homeless.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, okay. That's a good reason to call me, actually. Is this new, though? Is this a new thing? No.
No.
Right. So
to this degree, yes.
Okay.
I mean, he's never, this is a whole new level.
Well, and tell me why it's a new level, because what I heard, even after you told me that he's, homeless now, and I'm very sorry, and having a psychotic break, that this is not new territory for him.
Right.
So letting go of our kids, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, right? Like there still has to be an element of letting go, which, interesting enough, at least in your son's case, could be beneficial. Mm-hmm. It is possible that your link with him doesn't help him to come back, doesn't help him to resurface. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But obviously you have every right to be concerned, but you also have no control over him, really. He's an adult. He can do what he wants, right?
Right.
Okay. So now I'll let you finish your story.
Well, we're trying to help him get out of some legal trouble that he's in.
Yeah,
do you think that's advisable?
That might be good for him to be in legal trouble, actually. So imagine if he gets into legal trouble and he goes to jail, you know where he is, he's safe, and he can't do drugs or other unmentionables, things that you don't want him to do. So maybe it's good if he's in some sort of legal trouble. Agreed?
Spiritually, yes. In my heart, no.
I mean, that could be the best thing for him. That it could be
needing that structure.
Right. And again, it's an opportunity. There's no guarantees with your son because he's very strong-minded. He doesn't listen to anyone. You know that, right?
Right.
Yeah. I have a brother who's a drug addict, actually. I'm not saying your son's a drug addict. I know that it plays a partial role in his situation, but not the whole role. And my brother's in his 50s. He has been on the streets pretty much most of his adult life. Most of it, not all of it. And he's still, still alive, but he's very stubborn. He won't listen to any of us. And I'm seeing my brother, because I don't think about him very often, just because it's been years since I've even seen him. But he recently saw my mom, so we know he's still here on the planet, enjoying life to whatever degree he's enjoying it, which I think he's actually happier than most people realize. But I'm seeing my brother because your son is just as stubborn as my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
so you do think he's abusing drugs?
I don't think it's a huge part of his problem, but it is a piece of it.
Okay.
Right. Like, I don't think he's a big drug seeker, but I think because of the lifestyle that he lives and he's with other people who are using drugs from time to time, I do think he does have some recreational or maybe a slightly more, opportunities than that. But I don't think it's the main issue. I think it is his mental health. So,
yeah.
So we kind of want him to go to jail. Unfortunately,
okay.
if we had, and this is just my idea, you get to do whatever you think is right? You and your husband get to make these decisions, but we don't have good mental health circumstances available in the country for people anymore. We kind of got rid of all of these clinics we used to have and safe houses. We used to have all kinds of interesting organizations and groups that authentically work to help people with mental health issues. We don't have them anymore.
Right.
Unless he allows himself to be institutionalized, which he will not do. He won't do that.
Okay.
That I can see. So I kind of think the getting in legal trouble is a good opportunity for him.
Okay.
But you get.
Do you have any what if questions for me?
What if, no matter where my baby is, no matter what he's doing, he is safe and well and getting better and better?
Okay.
Which is the complete opposite of what you think, right?
Well, no, I do believe he's, on the path he should be.
Oh, okay. But if you really believe that, you wouldn't be worried so much as you are. So I think this what if question it's going to send positive energy to him, the energy you want him to have. Because you guys have you're, as a strong mom, you have a very strong bond to your kids, right? And so what we think does play a role. I mean, obviously everyone's independent in what they decide to do and how to live their life, but it does play a role in what's going on.
Okay.
Energetically speaking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry you have to worry about all of this. I truly am.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy, for joining us from Eugene, Oregon area, 877-825-8828. And now we wish good luck to her son as well, too. So,
yes.
Let's see here. Ray
I'm sure everybody's sending him positive energy now, right? He's getting like a wave. Yeah.
Right. I couldn't agree more. Ray from Pennsylvania. Hello, Ray.
Hi, how are you?
We're good.
We're great, Ray. What can I do for you?
Good. I have two questions. How many guys do I have and what are my gifts?
And what are your gifts?
Ooh.
Okay, well, those are real, that's like a session question, Ray, just so you know. But I believe you have 17 guides, which means whenever there's a double number, it goes down to a single number, which is an 8, which is the affinity sign, which is a really powerful, fortunate number. So you're actually a lucky person, whether you realize that or not. You are lucky. What do you think about that statement?
Very true. And number 8 is my lucky number.
Oh, perfect. I love that. I love that. I think, because a lot of times when people ask me about their gifts, I look at intuitive abilities. That's what I look for. I think you're very clairvoyant, meaning that you can see beyond the physical realm. Is that true for you?
That's true.
Oh, so do you use your gift very often?
Yes, I am a healer.
Oh, you are? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. I truly, truly appreciate that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the work you do in the world.
Thank you very much. I've been doing it for years and I just love helping people. And I just want to know of the guys if I'm going with the right path with that more and more.
I'll just draw out your auric field really quickly to look at the fifth layer. I'm sure you're doing great. I just think that you have to do a little bit of elevating about you, because I think you're kind of quiet about who you are in some regard. Does that make sense? And
Yes.
And I'm not saying you have to stand at the rooftops and yell it, but I think you need to own more of who you are. Really take it into yourselves, very deeply into yourselves in terms of your beliefs about your worth. I think that would be very efficient and effective for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for what you do. We really appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for what you do too.
Oh, of course. Yes. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Ray, for joining the show. 877-825-8828. And we have time for one more caller. Yeah, unfortunately. But there will be a show next week.
Oh, yes.
So
we'll be back in the studio next
got it.
Thursday.
So Allie is actually calling from the Seattle area. Hi, Allie.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
Hi, Marie. Thank you for talking to me.
Of course. Of course. What can I do for you?
I'm calling about my 11-year-old son. He's been having a really hard time sleeping.
Okay.
I feel like we've tried lots of things already.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if you had any suggestions for us.
And when you talk to him about his not being able to sleep, does he give you any information about it?
Well, I think it's anxiety. I think he just thinks, and he has a motor. So I think it's just hard for him to turn it off, and he's the last one asleep at night and has a hard time.
So I think bedtime needs to start sooner. Maybe it needs to start with a bath.
Okay.
I would start a couple hours before his bedtime even, just to get him to start to wind down. And you are a big thinker. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Yeah.
So kids pick up their energy from the people they live with or whomever they spend.
Like sponges. Totally.
Right? So if you can relax your brain a little bit, a lot would be great for you.
Mm-hmm.
It will also be great for him.
Okay.
So maybe you guys, one of the things that I loved that my mother did, and I did this for my kids too, when they were falling asleep, I would rub their head, and I would say over and over again, every day in every way, and I'll just use my oldest daughter's name, Mariam gets better and better and better. And I would say that for like 5 or 6 or 10 times. And then I would say, Mariam's a happy, healthy, cheerful girl. I would say that again numerous times. Mariam will always be successful. And I would say that again and I would do this over and over and over again until they fell asleep. So you're like sending some subconscious energy while they're going to sleep that they're healthy, they're happy, and they're successful. I think that would be a fun thing for you to do after he's had his bath and his wind down.
And consistency on the times too. Keep it consistent.
Yes.
Don't change back and forth. I have twin boys, and we had to do it. Even if one was a little more tired than the other, we still did it at the same time every night, and it works.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't see anything wrong. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a lovely day, everyone. Thank you, Benny, for your input.
Thanks,
We
Allie,
really
too, by the way.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Yes. And we wish everyone happy Eclipse Day.
Ooh, yeah.
And joyful blessings. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.